Hey Aditya, can we get started?
Yeah, sure. Just give me one sec. You're recording, right?
Yes.
Is the screen visible to everybody?
Yes, Aditya, it is.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for taking off and breaking away from your busy schedule and attending today's session. So my name is Aditya and I handle pre-sales for Wavemaker. So I am joined by Saraswati today, and she will be doing the demo in detail for all of you. So before we get started, we will first just give you a quick glimpse about the platform, walk you through certain crucial aspects of what Wavemaker is and what sets it apart from other low codes in the space. And I would also like to thank all of you for actively trialing our product. Uh, right, so let's quickly begin. So as you can see on your screen, the first slide itself says build digital apps at scale and at speed, right? So this is something that Wavemaker does out of the box, and we are catered towards targeting or accommodating all sorts of enterprise application requests, whether it is in the form of scalability as well as that go-to-market time that everyone is really, really struggling to meet, right? So this is something that our platform does very well. We can actually we allow you that very quick go-to-market time in terms of that design to code gap becoming very short, and that way you can deliver your apps a lot more quicker using the platform. Now, Wavemaker in itself has a very different approach when it comes to working along with developers cohesively to build applications. So the first thing is that we actually help developers turn full stack, and this is something that you will also experience in our demo today. And what you're seeing in terms of full stack here is basically end-to-end application development, right? And it also includes some form of delivery as well. The next crucial point is that we are one of the very few platforms out there that does not have any lock-in, and we are completely based on open standards code, right? So this is something that I'll touch upon a little later in the presentation. Um, Given the efficiency you can achieve with a low-code platform like Wavemaker, you can definitely consider us a power tool. And of course, with the entire world right now in this very uncertain time of COVID and people operating remotely, the entire application development as well as delivery experience is completely cloud native, right? So it's built for remote working. Now, in terms of what enterprises require or their demands are with applications being developed, right? So you want to have consumer grade UI out of the box, which is very rich and which has a great bit of interactivity. You also want to have a cloud native model from the get go, right? And we support that out of the box. Um, at some point, you're looking at dwelling into an API-driven architecture or an API-led approach, and this is something that the platform does really, really well. Additionally, we also have DevOps, which is kind of baked in, and we have Docker running under the hood. And additionally to this, if you want to deploy in terms of agility to any orchestration layer of choice, the applications are already ready for such orchestration or deployments that you're looking for. And finally, of course, the multi-channel ability where any application that is built using Wavemaker can run on any form factor out there, be it a mobile or a tablet using the browser. Right. So a little bit about the WaveMaker tech stack, right? So as you can see here, it is purpose built for developers. And this is something that is resonated in our tech stack as well. So on the front end, you're using Angular 7, Bootstrap, HTML, and CSS. On the back end, we use Spring and Hibernate Java frameworks for any mobile specific controls that you're seeking to build, say with certain native functionality, right? So we have Cordova plugins to make that happen. And we are running Docker under the hood uh, along with support for Kubernetes. So in 2019, we were rated by Forrester as the top 10 low-code providers in the application development and delivery space. And in terms of the applications that you can build using WaveMaker, first of all, the platform in itself is completely industry agnostic, right? So we cater to a wide variety of industries, and most of our customers are placed across the globe. Um, and the type of applications we build again is completely a very wide spectrum of applications, right? So you have consumer based applications for your end consumers. You have line of business core applications that can be built through the product. You also have field facing applications for your frontline teams or your field operatives who are out there in the field to to do their tasks. And in most cases, in our experience, we have seen that in such requirements, most of the requirements are also that they need to work in an offline or a place where the network is not the greatest. So we do have some form of offline capabilities as well, which is again supported out of the box. For all of you who are into the analytics space and you're dealing with large amounts of data, to visually represent this data, we have data-driven dashboards as part of the offering in WaveMaker, which is supported through our responsive widgets as well. Right. So how do we build these applications using WaveMaker, right? So there is a very crucial um, bits inside the platform that is constantly working to give you this seamless experience of application development. So in WaveMaker terminology, we have broken this down into 6 turbochargers of application development. So let's tackle each one, right? So you have responsive UI, themes, and templates, right? And this is basically the out-of-the-box themes, templates, and layouts provided to you by the platform. And this makes it very easy for you to start developing your applications, and you have a good reference point to start off when you're first figuring out what pages you want. Additionally to this, you can always bring in your own layouts, themes, because all of this is completely customizable. And you can also import your own theme to match your own branding, and you can just apply it on the project that you're working on, right? So it's as simple as that. In terms of databases supported, we support any relational database out of the box. They include SQL Server, MySQL, Oracle DB, IBM Database 2, MongoDB, and the likes of those. Additionally, once you connect to a database in WaveMaker, we not only give you a visual representation of the entire database structure, which is available to you visually through the database designer, we also make sure that all the existing stored procedures and dependencies in the database is captured by the platform, right? And you can also make changes or make more query calls and stored procedures as well using the platform itself. We take it one step further where we auto-generate RESTful endpoints for the same, right? So you'll have one-click API creation for all of your CRUD APIs that are generated for those tables. We have another concept called as reusable components. And what reusable components are is, as the name suggests, it's basically a lot of widgets that can be very quickly developed inside WaveMaker, and it can be reused, right? So apart from the library of widgets that we provide, based on your application use cases, you will find the necessity to build certain widgets that are specific to your use case. And the best part of these widgets are you can actually share them between your development teams. Additionally, you can also rework on them as well, right? So to give you an example, let's say in a loan processing environment or a use case where a loan needs to be processed and you need to have a very quick turnaround in the processing, right? So you would need something like a digital signature to help with this process. So we can actually integrate with something like DocuSign, prepare a widget, or in Waymaker terminology is called as a prefab, and this would exist in the application through a drag and drop again. And then once you have it all configured, you can just have the e-signature in place, and that way your loan process basically becomes a lot more faster. We also support integrations with other third-party services. This includes REST APIs, SOAP APIs, and WebSockets as well, right? Now, as part of our containerization, we already have Docker running under the hood. So we also support single-click deployment to AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, as well as DigitalOcean, right? And for an on-premise deployment, you'll have to do it manually, where you can export the code and then, export the project and then manually deploy it into your existing pipelines. Right? And all of these features is something that we provide out of the box through the Wavemaker platform. Right. In terms of business benefits, as I said earlier, the first one and the most crucial one is that you have a faster time to market with a much quicker, your design to code gap reduces quite drastically. The next thing is that you don't have to depend so much on specialists because the platform itself is doing a lot of heavy lifting for you. Your maintenance cost goes down because the platform produces standards-based code, which any of your, where any developer can actually manage the code end to end once the application is built. We don't have any lock-in, right? And this is a very unique concept to us. And what we mean by this is the entire platform code generated is not only available to you, but is also owned by you. You have the flexibility, transparency, ownership, and portability provided to you by the platform, where you can export the code into any Java-based IDE of choice and continue to work on the backend code. Right? In terms of security, we are OWASP compliant. We also support all the authentication and authorization players such as CAS, SAML, Active Directory, OpenID. All of this is supported out of the box. Right. In terms of mobile applications, first of all, every app built on Wavemaker is a hybrid application, right? And it has a responsive design. For mobile applications, we run it through something like a Cordova Apache Builder, and then we can make them available in either the App Store or the Play Store once you go through the respective guidelines to placing your application. Right, so that's a very quick wrap on the presentation. Let's go to Saraswati now for the demo, right?
Okay, Aditya, let me share my screen.
Sure.
So is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So now in this webinar, we will see the basic features that are offered by the platform, so which will be helpful in building any modern application. So this is the online version of the platform where I have logged in. So you can access Wavemaker from any browser of your choice. So this portal that you see here is called the project listing page, where you will see all the user created projects. So as soon as you sign up, so as a trial user, you will be seeing an empty list here. So as you start creating projects, your projects will be listed here in this page. So now now we will see 7 key concepts that are needed in building an application. So I have kept the sample application ready just to save the time. So this app is designed for a company which sells its insurance to its client. So this app is built for two roles. One is sales manager and the other is a sales representative. So this is a studio working environment that you see here. And the center part is called the canvas or the design area, where you will be designing your pages by simply drag and dropping the widgets that are readily available here under a widgets panel. So platform by default provides 100 plus widgets, from a simple text widget to a complex widgets like data table form filters are readily available. And yeah, any requirement can be met with the help of these widgets. So any widget that you select in a waymaker has their own set of attributes here in a widgets properties panel. So apart from the properties or attributes, we even provide applying of styles. You can even also apply padding or margins for the widgets. And we even support events from a single on-click event to all the events that are supported are handled by the waymaker. So now we will, as already told, we will be discussing 7 key points here. So we will go to the first one. So using databases in waymaker. So if you have your database hosted externally on any server or a cloud provider, you can connect your database from here under a widgets panel. So platform supports all the relational databases. So you can even design your database from here, uh, from this database panel. Okay. So as soon as you import your database, platform identifies certain metadata and presents you the structure of the database in a neat ER diagram format. So as you see here, the table, the primary keys, the columns are also identified. The foreign key references between the tables are also presented in a neat format. So you can import your database in a read-only mode, or you can import it in an editable mode. So if you want to sync your changes that you make here in the database designer to your external database, then you have to import your database in an editable mode. So you can even execute your queries here. And if you have any procedures that are present in your database, then you can list them here and you can execute your procedures here from a procedure tab. So apart from identifying the metadata for each table, platform also generates APIs for each entity in a database, which follows a Swagger spec or an OpenAPI 3.0. So as you see here, this is similar to a Swagger UI. So for each entity, as you select, you have a certain set of APIs or an endpoints that are exposed. So these are the CRUD endpoints, the filter endpoint, filter API, the search API, the export API. So what is an export API? So this API is used to export the data that is present in a table in an Excel or CSV format. So as soon as you import your database, you can we generate an APIs for you, and you can test your API here from the API designer. And yeah, this is the real-time data that is fetched from the database and displayed here in an API designer. So this is one of the powerful tool or a magical tool that we have in Waymaker. So apart from data source, we even you can also import any other data sources like REST APIs or SOAP APIs from here. So now we will see the second concept. So how do we use these APIs in designing our pages? So this is a dashboard page for a sales manager. So here I wanted to show some of the sales trends for 1 year in this chart. Okay. So as any widget that accepts a data has a property called dataset. So now I will bind my dataset to a data source by creating a variable. So what is a variable in Wavemaker is a glue between the front end and the back end, or the data layer which interacts with the data, back end, gets you the data and feeds it to the widget. So here I will create my data source for a sales entity which is present in my database. And yeah, I will select my sales data set. So as already told, like platform identifies the metadata for each entity. So you see the metadata is displayed here. So I would like to apply some of the aggregations on this chart. So, and also I would like to make this x-axis display nicer. So as soon as you select x-axis as a date format, so platform identifies it to be a date type and presents you some list of uh, date patterns that you can configure it from here. So I would like to add the days. Okay, now we will preview this and we will check how this all look like in the preview. So I will log in with my Sally Jones, who happens to be a sales manager. So you see the chart is populated with the data, and the aggregations that I have applied are performed at the backend, and it feeds the data to the widget. So apart from a database, you can bind this chart to any data source like REST API or a SOAP service, ensuring that the data which is returned is in a format that you are expecting to the widget, to display it in a widget. Okay. Now we will see the third one, interacting between two widgets. Now I have a use case here. Like I would like to filter this, apply some filter in this widget, and I would like to display the data of the customers whose upcoming policy renewals are soon approaching. Okay, so we will see how to implement that one. So as already said, data table is one of the complex widget. You can bind this data table to any data source, or you can bind it to a widget. So as I already have a filter widget here, I will be binding my filter result to be displayed in my data table. So as soon as you bind your data source, platform identifies it to be a if your data source supports CRUD endpoints, how would you like to perform your CRUD operations? So you can also perform your CRUD operations using data table with form as dialog, or you can also apply the CRUD operations using form below template, or inline edit template, or quick edit template, which is similar to an Excel. For now, I will go with a simple view only, data table. And yeah, as the data in the database might be very huge, you would like to apply the pagination, like 20 records per page, then you can apply any one of this pagination here. And yeah, as already told, the metadata is identified. So I will select, I will select only some of the columns here. And yeah, done. So after configuring the data table, I would like to add one more column here, the customer names, to be displayed in this data table. So any complex widget like this has a advanced settings option available under properties. You can apply any one of, you can also change the widget configurations, even if you would like to export the data in a CS or CSV or Excel formats, you can select these options. And I would like to add the customer name here. As customer name might not be directly available in a sales table, so it might be available in some references. So platform also provides you all the references which are referenced with that sales table. So I will rename my column name here, and I will move my products up. And as sales is an integer type, I would like to apply some currency format here. I would like to apply the dollar symbol as currency format. And yeah, you see the three columns are displayed here in a widget, and the currency format is also applied for the sales table. Now we will preview this and check how this will look like in a preview. So we'll go to the customers. So here I will be applying my filter. As you see, the data in the data table is also getting changed, right? So with this, we have seen the interaction between two widgets in Wavemaker. Now we will move to the fourth one, project code base. So how this app look like when you have your app handy? So apart from generating the APIs for the when you import your database, platform also generates code for your for each entity. So as you see, this is a purely Java code written. So com sales vision. This is my database name. Sales vision is my database name. So for each entity, you see a Pojo class generated for each entity, which is easily understandable. And we also have a DAO class generated for each entities. Okay. And we also have a implementation class. And on top of that, we have a controller class. So this class, these are the methods which are used to represent you the REST interface. Okay, and on top of this, we even generate a Swagger file. So the output of this Swagger file is the list of APIs that we have already seen here when interacting with the API designer here under this panel. Okay, as backend is generated. I mean, backend code is generated with pure Spring and Hibernate. So for front end, we will be it is a pure Angular app. So each page in a project is generated as a Angular component. So which is lazily loaded Angular components, as we have seen the dashboard page here. So you see the component HTML files are generated. It is similar to an Angular, right? Angular code. .ts file is also generated. So as these two are different modules, the front end and the back end are two different modules. So the front end code will be shipped along with the CDN, and the back end code will be shipped along with the var when you deploy it on any server. Okay. So code base is done. So building UI components, fifth one. So till now we have seen interaction between WaveMaker widgets. Now what if I want to integrate some other third-party plugin, or I would like to build my own UI component. So I have some use case here. So I have a list of sales executives here displayed in a list format. So I would like to show the location of that particular executive here under this locations panel. Okay. So to implement that one, we have a concept called prefabs in WaveMaker, as prefabs are the reusable UI components. So, so we will go to that page, my team's page. So if you would like to build your own widget, if you like any UI jQuery widget, you can wrap that widget in a prefab project, and you can publish it, and that will be displayed here under a prefabs panel. Okay. So I will drag my Google Maps prefab here to display the location of that particular sales executive. And yeah, what are properties to be exposed, and the life cycle of the prefab should be handled by the prefab developer. So here I would like to bind my locations, and yeah, this is a main binding dialog where it will be listing all the resources that are used in this page. So now I will bind my locations to the list selected item. And yeah, I will configure these locations. So I would like to display the location based on city. And yeah, as this requires an API key, let me give it. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Now we will preview this and we'll check how this will work. So my team's page. So as you see, Amanda Brown is by default selected here in the list, and her location is displayed here in the map. So as I change my selected item, list selected item, their respective locations are also getting updated. Okay. Now, before going into some other use cases, let me show you how responsive is this when you launch this app in any device. So you can switch between pages from this left panel. Okay, so I will go to my Teams page. Here in this page, we have seen the list which is displaying all the sales executives, right? But in my mobile device, I'm not displaying the complete list, but I'm displaying a search box where I can search for an employee or a sales executive, and their respective location is also getting updated. So as you see here, the brand location is updated. So how to handle these kind of use cases? Like I'm not showing my list here in this mobile device, but I was showing it in a web view. So you can do that from the properties panel. Select that particular widget which you don't want to show it in a mobile device, and hide it from here. So if I uncheck this, this widget is not shown because I have unchecked this in a mobile device, and remaining all devices I'm showing that widget. Okay, and we will go to the other key point. So one-click deployment. So platform supports one-click deployment from here. So I have already deployed my application. So you can keep your app deployment running at the backend and at the background, and you can proceed working on your app. So you can also make this app live by configuring to any one of these popular providers. So platform by default supports these. You can all platform also supports Kubernetes deployments out of the box, and apart from that database cloud providers, you can export the var with any one of these profiles. We will see the profiles later. So and you can export the project var and deploy it on any server of your choice. So what are profiles? If you want to run the same application on different environments with different connection settings, suppose I have a database to be connected, I have a test database which will be working in my testing environment. I have some live database which I wanted to use it in a production environment. Then I can change my connection settings here, and this is not only for database, for each and every service that we integrate in this project can be changed here. Okay, so you can export the var with any one of this profile and import it on any server of your choice. And we'll go to the next one. So authentication on and authorization. So everyone wants their apps to be secured. So platform also support security authentication. So by following all OWASP 10 standards, so we even support preventing XSS attacks, CORS enablement. So you can also enable XSS frames options, and every API is secured with XSS token. Auth token, and we even support protection of CSRF tokens. And apart from authentication, so before that, so when I launched my application, it asked for me to enter a username and password. So that is because I have configured my project security with a database provider. So platform supports these providers for to secure your app. You can configure any one of them. So apart from authentication, platform also supports authorization. So you can authorize your pages, your services. So all the services which are integrated in this app are displayed here. So you can secure your APIs behind the firewall using by providing these access roles. So apart from APIs and services and pages, you can also secure your widgets. Like not if you don't want to display this particular widget for a manager role, then you can apply these settings here. If you check this widget will be shown only for the manager, not for the user. Okay, this is applied not only for the widget level. So it is you can also see in any minute to minute level in this platform. So for we will see this in a data table. So we have an advanced settings. So for few columns, I wanted to display it for the manager, and few I wanted to display it for the user. So you can select that particular column. Under security, you can configure it from here. So these two columns will be shown only for the manager, and the remaining will be shown for everyone. So not only for the column levels, you can also configure it for the actions. So these are row actions for the data table. So you can secure your action only for the user. So this action will be shown only for the user. So let me touch you some other features that we have in our product. So if you would like to perform any one of the workflow, suppose if I will go back to my full screen. Full screen mode. So I will log in with a sales executive user. Okay, after performing some of the action here in a data table, if you would like to uh, send an email to your manager, then we have a concept called connectors. So as prefabs are the reusable backend front-end components, we have a reusable backend components. So which are connectors. So you can build your connector, you can import your connector here. So I have already integrated my email connector. So I would like to send my email. So after performing some action from the representative, I would like to intimate, manager through an email. So that you can also integrate that one. So apart from email connectors, we even support a list of connectors by default. You can browse it under Google. So you will be seeing a list of connectors here. And yeah, as already said, connectors are the reusable backend components. So you can build your connector. We support these kind of connectors, and the requirements are endless, right? So you can build your own connector. So we have a neat documentation explained on how to build your connectors, and you can try this one. So apart from this, platform also supports internationalization. So you can add your languages here and add your keys and bind it to a widget, and you're good to go. And version control. If you're when you're working in a small, when you're working in a teams, you can pull the changes from the other user, and you can push your local changes to the other user. You can view your local changes, and you can also resolve your conflicts. And you can also push this project to any external repo like GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab, etc. And you can also invite the other user from this dialog by entering the email ID of the other user. And yeah, if you want to open this project in any IDE like IntelliJ or Eclipse, you can simply export this project, extract the project, and open it in IntelliJ. And we have a support like a sync plugin. You can the changes that are made in an IDE can be pushed to your workspace here in a studio workspace, and the changes that you make here in a studio workspace can be pulled in an IDE. We have a sync plugin concept supported, so you can try that one as well. And yeah, we have we even support Swagger. So if your if your API is supporting a Swagger, or if you have any Swagger file, then you can select your file here, and all the even if there are hundreds of APIs, Swagger APIs, we import all of them in one go. And yeah. So if you have any custom business logic, you can write it here in a Java service. And yeah, I think I'm done with the demo. If you have any questions, then we can take it now. And one more thing I would like to add here is like this is a web application. So we can even build a mobile application. We have a feature that allows support for offline database. So, and you can, once you build your mobile application, you can generate an IPA or APK file and deploy it or install it in any supported like Android or iOS devices. And you can also make your mobile app live by pushing it to publishing it in a Play Store. We have a documentation for that as well. You can go through that.
Can we move to the Q&A?
Yeah. Yes, Aditya.
Okay, so we have a couple of questions, right? I'll take it one at a time.
Okay.
So the first question is, somebody's trying to recreate a specific application that involves, I think, about 20 CRUD pages. CRUD applications, and it has multiple pages. Each of these apps has certain business logic in the middle layer. How can this be replicated in WaveMaker? And in terms of reporting, what options are there?
So you can have your logic written in a single app, and we expose an API for that particular Java services that we have in a single in a project, and you can use these APIs in a other project. And yeah, there is no duplication of code to be written in every app, like 20 or 30 apps. And when we go back, for reporting, we have a connector called Jasper Reports connector. So you can go through that. So you can we have a Jasper Reports connector. So connector exposes APIs to be displayed in a PDF format or any other formats like HTML or a Word documentations. So you can integrate this Jasper Reports connector and call that connector here in a Java service. And yeah, I think this answers that question.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the other question is basically, whether we can custom build the logic for the middle layer, right? And I think that's possible. We have to write our own business logic. We
Own
can't.
business logic, yes.
Okay.
We can add your own services here and write your logic here in a Java service.
Okay, we also have another follow-up question probably to this, and it is specific to Microsoft, I think. So they're asking whether we have support for Windows OS with WaveMaker. So,
as already told, like you can try this WaveMaker online in any browser. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically you don't need to install anything with
Install it,
WaveMaker.
yes.
It is completely available just through the browser in terms of an application development. But if you're asking whether it is for Windows Phone, there is no support for Windows Phone at the moment. Right. We also have another question here, which is, does WaveMaker have an option to facilitate data forms, edit elements inside the form? So if you create a form I think you can quickly show this. If you create a form, can you edit elements in the form?
So I will create my form page. So you can create your own pages here. So as already told, if your API, if your data source is supporting CRUD endpoints, then you can just simply drag and drop a data table. Sales, you can select it any one of the data source. And yeah, I would like to take this form template. So I can configure. So this is for form. So this step is for form. So I will select my 2-column layout here. So when I preview my page, Jones Waymaker. So you see, as I already have a database, a data displayed in my table, so I can edit my record here, and this is the data of this particular selected row that is displaying here in a form. You can, if you don't want to use this data table, you can simply drag and drop this form which is readily available. This is a single form. You can drop it here, and you can configure this to a existing data source, or you can also configure it to the new one. So this is similar to the steps that we have seen during configuration of data table. So this is a 2-column layout I am selecting, and these are the list of fields that are present in my sales table. So as already said, the metadata is identified, right? So these are the columns that are present in my sales table, and yeah, so the form looks in this way. So if you want to edit your records, then you can go with this templates, okay, with a form dialog. If you want a single form, then you can go with a form widget here.
There's a follow-up question to the form, right? So I think I did see somebody asking whether it supports validation as well,
Yes,
some form of
all
validation.
the yes, platform supports all the UI and server-side validations. You can go through the validations, uh, form validations in Waymaker. So we have a documentation explained for the form validations. You can go through this documentation, or for each form field under properties, we have a simple validation messages. So you can also enable here from here. You can provide the message if your form field is violating that constraint, like minimum value and maximum value, then this error message which is given here will be displayed for that particular form field. And yeah, we can go through the next question, I think so.
Yeah, so the next question is asking what sort of throughput can we manage per screen? I am thinking of this as more like per page. And I think in terms of throughput, you're asking about what are the number of processes that can be probably, run in one particular page. So I think that would depend upon the use
Use
case,
case, yes.
But I don't see any limitations there, right? It would
Yes,
depend
we
upon
don't have any limitations in designing your pages. So as you see, this is my dashboard page. So you can drag and drop any number of widgets onto a page as per your requirement, and you can design your own page.
Okay. We have a question on mobile next. So somebody is asking, I'm interested in developing a mobile application. Is it possible to export to iOS and Android? I think we
Yes,
kind of partially answered this question,
yes.
but yes, go ahead.
So when you have your mobile application ready, you can generate the IPA or APK file from the mobile application. So as of now, I think I don't have any mobile application created here. So we generate an IPA or APK file. So you can install this files in any Android or iOS devices, and you can work with on that app once you are installed in your device.
We also have another question. This is in regards to the final war project that is created, asking can we export source or only binary war is supported? So they want to understand what source code is supported in the war file.
So as you export your WAR file, you will be seeing a similar files that you see here. Like I can show you that. I think
No, I think it will take time for it to
time. Yeah.
download, but I think
Yes.
you will pretty much see the same breakup of files that you're
Yes.
seeing in the File Explorer.
File Explorer. Yeah.
Right. So this would be the general breakup of the application or the project files,
Yes.
and then you will have access to individual, both the front end and the different tiers of the application. Does Swagger files represent custom logic layer? I'm not too
So
sure.
all your logic should be handled in a like if you are referring to a microservices kind of architecture. So all your logic will be returned at the back end, and if you expose it as an API, you can import it here. So here it as a Swagger file or a Swagger URL. So this will be a REST endpoints similar to this one.
Okay, the next question is, do we have any estimates on performance of application pages in terms of milliseconds, right? So what is the load times and caching times, I suppose, is what they're asking for.
So obviously for the first time launch, it will be taking suppose if it takes 7 milliseconds, then if you navigate back and come to the same page, then obviously it will be cached. I mean, it will be stored in a cache, and the rendering, the performance will be very fast.
Okay. And do we also have some sort of error logging and error notification as part of the platform? Is that supported?
Yeah, if you see any exceptions at the run preview, then all that exception logs will be displayed here under application section. So if you find any error that you see while configuring any, like if you see any error while importing a database, that will be logged under a server section, server tab here in the logs. So you can see all the logs that are displayed here. So, and the application logs exceptions, if you find any exception, that will be logged here under application tab. So, and yeah, error logging is also supported in WaveMaker.
I think, can we also show the Java files on the controller, or the Java controller files in the file explorer? I think there are more questions on what type of files are getting exported, especially on the Java side. So maybe if you can just show that bit, it'll probably clear out some questions.
So as already told, like we will be generating classes for each entity. So similarly, we will, if you have any Java service, we will generate a controller class for that particular Java service. So these are the POJO classes for that for a sales entity that we have in our database. So, and these are the DAO classes that are generated. So this is a controller class, and we also have an implementation file for this each table. So you can search it from here. Sales service IMPL. So this is an implementation class, and we have a controller class that is displayed, that is generated. So, and the Swagger files are also generated here. So this is a Swagger file. You can export this Swagger file, and you can import in any, I mean, instead of importing the same database in multiple projects, you can export this, you can download this Swagger file, import it as a Swagger service from here in any other applications. Instead of importing the same database again and again, you can just export the Swagger file. You can use it in any application. So I think, yeah. Do you want me to?
No, I think that's clear now.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think we have time for one last question. And
Okay.
I see a question here. I think I can take this. It's basically the question is whether how is WaveMaker hosted, right? So WaveMaker is basically available to you in two forms. One is the online offering, which is where we are demoing it to you right now. and we also have, which is our SaaS offering, and we also have an on-premise offering, which is our enterprise offering. Right. So one is on-premise, which we host, or rather we install behind your firewall, and the other offering is the SaaS offering. It is the SaaS offering is available in both Solo and Teams edition, and the enterprise offering is basically for enterprises, and it starts with a minimum package of 10. Right. I do see a lot of questions on pricing. I would request all of you to write in to us, because it will be easier for us to uh, cater to those questions individually. So please write in to us. I think Sandeep will leave his email in the
Yeah.
chat, so you can just write into Sandeep and we'll take it separately. Right. I think if there are no more questions, I'm just going to give you maybe another 2 minutes. If you have something else to ask us, please feel free to use the Q&A. And yes, sometime back we also had a question asking us whether we have, whether you have a deliveries team in Bangalore. So we actually have 3 offices in India, and we are headquartered in Mountain View, California. So in India we have a presence in Bangalore, Chennai, and Hyderabad. Right. So yeah, I think it's. We don't have any more questions. So thank you all for tuning in. Yeah, hopefully you have a very a good experience with the app, with the application, and also with the platform during your trial. Have a pleasant evening, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Saraswati. Thank you, Aditya.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, Sandeep.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Have a great day.
Yeah.